because Brie was like, "Oh my gosh, Camille's been in a relationship this whole time and she didn't tell us."
I know. You need to find the tweet right now because I'm pretty sure that's the tweet that you were referring to.
Bruh.
Yes. Go ahead and tell me I'm right. I never tweet anything about being single.
Oh, this is so irritating. Oh, yeah, right here. Got it. September 21st. Perfect. You over here. Oh, September 21st at 8:13 p.m. September 21st, 2020, 8:13 p.m. Original tweet. I'm single again. Out on the prowl.
Oh, thought Ernest was perfect. I don't know how. That's Mama D. That's Mama D. Y'all don't know the video that I'm referring to because y'all are uncultured. But let me find it.
Okay, but I don't care about. My point is that you did actually indeed do this.
Oh, well, I didn't. I was not thinking about that. And y'all think that I would date someone named Ernest? Granted, that's my sister's baby daddy name, so let me not say that. Well, still doesn't apply to me, but that was Mama D, and I'm gonna show you right now.
What's up, y'all? This is Sanj.
What's up? It's your girl Camille, and you're now tuned in to Brunchism.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to this week's episode of Brunchism. I am Camille.
I'm Sanj.
And it is a new episode now.
And now it's a different one. This is not the one you were listening to previously. This is a newer one.
If you're choosing to binge listen, don't. Give yourself a break and come back.
Because I don't know how anybody can binge listen to us. I'd be like, time out.
I can't binge listen to anyone. I guess that's not true though, because we binge watch shows, so technically we do binge listen. But podcasting is different.
Podcasting is so different. Like having somebody in your ear is crazy.
Yeah, and then I know sometimes like my laugh could be a little annoying.
But honestly, sometimes when I find like a new podcast that I really really like, though, I will go back and listen and like I do. Yeah, honestly, sometimes I have. Like if
I've only binged like storytelling podcasts, which makes sense.
Yeah, me too. I guess that's what I mean, because I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I want to listen to that one. So,
I had to really stop listening to Crime Junkies podcast because like I got too paranoid, and now that I live alone too, I'm like, until I give me a gun, I had to stop listening to it. I be in the shower, freak the fuck out. Sometimes I shower with my curtain open. I'm like, if I open this curtain, if I pull this curtain back and there's somebody right here with a chainsaw, my nigga,
it's over.
Like, that's just not ideal.
It's over for me.
Yeah. So, anyway.
I feel like I'm funnier with a hat on, so.
You say you're finer with a hat on?
Funnier.
Like
my jokes be hitting different when I put a hat on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on. You lucky I don't got one within arm's reach, okay? Because I would test that theory too. Never mind. All right, y'all. So for our new listeners, we usually start the podcast out with our org of the month. Still working on finding an exact org. So if you would like, or if you know of an organization, please feel free to email us at therealbrunchism@gmail.com. But for the remainder of this month, I would like to at least, oh my God, this is the last, oh no, we're recording one more time this month. I would like to shout out to my alma mater.
Are you asking me?
I'm not saying it right. Alma mater. How do you say that word? Martyr.
Alma mater?
Martyr. I thought a martyr was somebody that like dies.
But that's martyr. Alma mater is like there's no R before. Mater.
Shout out to the high school I went to. Because language.
English.
Sarah and Gardena, not the one when you like halfway to San Diego, but the coach and one of the former players have like implemented this mentorship program for the girls basketball team, which I think is really great, because when I was a young hottie at Sarah High School playing the b-ball,
hooping,
we had an all-male coaching staff across the board for Frosh, JV, and varsity. And although they were great, and about half of the staff I've known like for most of my life before I went to high school, it was still like a disconnect because they were coaching young women. So I think it's really cool that they started this program. Anyway, there's some anonymous donor or whatever who is matching up to like $80K, I think, to anyone who donates to Sarah in general. But if you go on the website and click SWAG, which is Sarah Woman Alumni Group, and that may be a lie, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But if you donate specifically to that group, whatever you donate will be matched by that donor. They're matching up to $80K. So I will leave the information if anyone chooses to donate. But you feel me? I'm gonna be a mentor again. So happy to, have me a little hottie to mentor.
You be good now.
I am gonna be good.
You don't lead them astray.
What is astray? I'm a great role model.
Listen. So you didn't hear? I didn't say you weren't. I ain't never said that.
You said don't lead them astray.
Yeah.
Where's astray? Can't even find that shit on Google Maps. Never heard of it.
Well, I mean, shout out to Sarah for mentorship. You know what? In general, I feel like girls in general get less mentorship than men. Like, I feel like a lot of mentor programs are like usually like young boys getting mentored. Not a lot of times. Girls
teaching how to be a man. A girl's mentor is their mom teaching them how to cook and clean. That's what people think that is.
Yeah.
And even a little bit, I'm not gonna go there. But yes, happy to be doing this and happy to have a group of women doing this, and we are able to, define and set the parameters of what good female mentorship looks like.
I love it. I actually do think you're a good mentor. Because you well-rounded.
I've been told a couple of times that people see me as being like a high school counselor. Do not want that for me, but it was flattering to hear anyway, because apparently I'm good at connecting with the youth.
Oh, okay. I was like, all my high school counselors were booty. I could never, but I get what you mean.
That's why they need me.
If it was a good high school counselor, then yeah, I get what you mean.
But that's not what I want for my life at all.
I got you.
One time I went
a little mentorship though here and there though.
Sprinkle here and there, but responsible for like a group of students. No. My old, I don't think he's the principal right now or the vice principal, but he was my old math teacher. And when I went up to visit my school at one point, he was some position of authority. I think he was vice principal, but he was trying to get me to teach. He was like, you should come back and teach. And I was like, listen, Mr. Wisa, let me tell you how that's not happening, my nigga. I remember being in school with the little fine teachers, and I'm not saying I'm fine. I'm not saying I'm not fine, but I just remember the reaction of the boys in my class. And I talked to this other like coach that was there, and he was like, "Oh no, you don't want to teach here. Like, let me just show you." And he called one of the senior high schools over there, and they started talking about one of the teachers. And I said, "I will not," because I'll be cussing these little boys out every day. And not only cussing them out, I would be saying things like, "Me and your dad will talk about it later." Like, I would really be going at it with these students. So I know that.
Ask your mom about me.
Like, oh, you got an attitude problem just like your mama.
I try to talk her down.
I know. Hello, me and your daddy tried to talk to her, but she too many emotions.
Just like you know. Listen.
So it wouldn't be good. But anyway, oops, I still want to be a good mentor.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, so I will post the information if anyone feels inclined to donate. I think the matching ends though like mid-October. Not that you can't still donate after that, but if you donate before that, it'll be
worth more, right? Cool. Well, thanks for putting us on to that.
Anytime. So, Sandra, what's on your menu for this week?
Appreciate it. This week has been, first of all, I'm tired as hell. I've been having like less coffee than usual, and it's not really working out. So I'm going back to having.
I was about to say I'm proud of you.
No, it's over. It's really not a side of me that I try to get to know more or anything like that. Like that was cool. Oh no, I put that shit back. You feel me? Like no, that's done. But I mean, I feel like, you know, generally I'm a better person. Usually drugs make you a worse person. So like if you find one that make you a better person, I say keep doing it. And so that's really how I feel about me and coffee. And I'm gonna.
Were you trying to stop on purpose? Like, were you trying to?
No, it's just like I try to not to have like coffee after a certain time, and so each day it's like right when it hits that time, I'm like, ah, shit, I didn't have my second cup, and then I just let it go because I'll have trouble sleeping or something. Gotcha. So it's not like I'm trying. It's just like the way that my day ends up happening is just not aligning. So the one thing that's motivating me to like wake up is so that I can drink all my coffee.
Do you have a Keurig? I'm sure you do, but I'm just curious.
Honestly, I have a Nespresso, which is a little bit. That's like we don't do Keurig. No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Nespresso over here. Don't do that. It's cute. You just wrote the time and I wrote the time, so I guess we're being sure.
I didn't see it. Okay. You were gonna tell them about the behind the scenes stuff. I didn't see that.
I'm just playing. But so this week my little sisters, they actually are in DC for a little bit. They're gonna be staying with me because COVID happened and they just graduated high school. And so they were supposed to be going to UCLA this fall, and UCLA has been on some bullshit as far as what they're doing with their students. They've been going back and forth. So I told them, I'm like, oh, if y'all want to just come chill in DC for a little bit and like see what it's like, get out and like actually feel like you've moved out. Because it's so sad to me, like some of the big milestones that people don't get to have. And so this was one where I could like actually do something about it on a really, really small scale. And so I was like, y'all just come out to DC for a little bit, explore. And so they got here yesterday. And I mean, so far so good.
Are they looking for a mentor? Am I not worthy of being your sister's mentor? Tread lightly here. Our friendship is on the line.
It's not that. It's just like, how much of life do you want to mix? Like, if they...
Fine, whatever.
It's really not about that. You can absolutely mentor them, but like, that would be funny. It would be awkward. Asking. They would be lucky to have you. They would be lucky to have you as a mentor. So yeah, go ahead. You can mentor them. But yeah, they're here. I'm excited because like, it's like a little bit of a change of pace too. Like just being at home with Bree. Now we have other people to talk to, so that's kind of nice. Different conversation. But yeah, and it gives me like a reason to do certain things that I normally wouldn't do.
Like
not like unsafe or anything like that because of COVID, but like not just like sit in the house, like go hike and go look at shit outside and stuff like that. So
do they make you feel old at any point?
Absolutely. Like it's so funny. This kid pulled out like one thing that confuses me about these kids is like the fashion. Like I really don't understand it. Like I'll be like, what the fuck? Like why would you? So she pulled out this purse, and I'm not saying like I'm a purse connoisseur or anything like that. Like, but I can look at a purse and be like,
you got a Telfar black, a Telfar black.
Okay, see, I would know about that. I'd be like, oh shit, you got one of them. But nah, bro, that's not what it was.
Mine's not coming till January 15th.
Nah, that's not what it was. So it's like this cow print like bag, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, oh, are you like holding your toothbrush and toothpaste in there? And then she was like, no, this is like it right now. Like this is what the people are into. I was like, what? This
in Farmersville or everywhere?
No, like it's like a thing. That was my initial thing. I was like, oh, you must have got this because of like, you know, like cowhide or something. But I literally thought she had her toothbrush and toothpaste in it. Nah, it's sort of like, it's a serious thing. So that shit really confused me. Like the way they dress, like it's interesting. But they let me know that that's what's up. So what could I do? Nothing. So in that sense, I do feel a little bit old. And then some things I'm like me and my little sisters have about like a little bit over 8-year difference. And so sometimes I don't like to have things in common with them, but then now that they're older, we be like having stuff in common. I'm like, fuck do you know about that?
Like, wait a minute, hold on now.
What the hell do you know about that? Like, nah, V, stop. And we like, you know, having a full-on conversation. I'm like, But I mean, I'm excited to have them here. I'm excited that they're no longer in damn Cowtown. That place sucks. That's where souls go to die, and it's no place for young Black ladies to be. So I was like, nah.
I went there a couple of times not to die.
You left promptly shortly after. You did. You didn't stay for long, which is fine. So yeah, I mean that's sort of what's on my menu. Just trying to get acclimated and being like living with them again. I haven't lived with them in like 8 years since I moved out of the house, so it's weird. But yeah, that's what's up. That's what's going on with me. What about you? How are you doing? How's your week? What's on your menu? What are you eating? You feel me?
So I'll start with what I'm drinking. This is my little sister started in the midst of the pandemic. She started like her own business called After Eight.
Love a hustler.
And so I'm drinking one of her drinks called Trip to the Tropics. I tried to freeze it before we started, and it did not freeze. Tried to make it a slushy, it did not slush, which leads me to believe that there's a lot of alcohol in here. So we'll see how that goes in about 10, 15.
Good for you. Good for you. Is she of legal age now? Because I
she's 21 now. Yes,
she was bartending, and we were like, oh.
I was just about to say that. So like she's 21. Mm-hmm. But I will say when we were 21, she was our bartender. And so do with that information what you will. I'm only 21 and a half right now, so.
And don't stress yourself out doing the math, people. Just let it go.
So I'm like happy and proud of her and all of that. So yeah, just wanted to say that that's what I'm sipping.
So on. what's in the beverage? Like, can you give us a description of what that beverage is?
This one has rum. This one has 2 alcohols. That may be why it didn't freeze. This one has rum and vodka, I believe.
Oh, you're doing
it. Trip to the Tropics. I am doing it, but let me tell you what I'm also doing.
Agua.
Crystal Geyser, baby.
I already know.
You know, if it's one thing I swallow on a regular, it's water. And that's it. But so yeah, drinking my drink. What's on my menu for this week? I finally met my goddaughter.
Okay.
Her name is Carly.
Come through.
She's so precious and wonderful. She has a bit of a tude, but I like that about her. I can always respect a woman who knows what she wants and it stands firm in what she wants, okay? And that's her. But yeah, so that was lovely. I really enjoyed that. She's very tiny.
I love little babies.
Yeah, so she was born premature. I don't like using the term preemies because I don't know if it's offensive. I'm allowed to say it because I'm not one. And premature babies can't tell me if it's offensive because they can't speak. But something about the term just makes me uncomfortable. So I don't like saying it, but she is a little mama, small and mighty. But yeah, that was exciting. I got to meet her last week, finally, like in person. And she's 2 months today. Yay, happy 2 months.
Happy 2 months.
I feel like only newborn babies in very new relationships celebrate little things like 2 months, 3 months, or whatever.
First of all, one thing I cannot stand is when relationships celebrate little. Nah, bro, like stop. You ain't fucking did nothing. Like, what are you talking about?
Stop it! I don't want to start no problems. Okay.
Man, I do, because that shit don't make no fucking sense. You're not an infant. Like,
it's the anniversary of the first time that you pooped in front of me. It's our anniversary of the first time that you let me get the last wing. It's our anniversary of the first time that I let you finish inside me. It's our anniversary of the first time.
Stop. Just stop. We can't. Don't get me started. Okay. Anyways.
Didn't mean to get you started. But overall, I'll say that this week I've been having discipline issues like across the board.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to work through that. I do a very good job of acknowledging what my issues are, but that's usually where it stops, right? Like I'll be like, hey, this
I know it's
like,
a problem.
girl, this
Move
is
on.
going on. This is a problem. And then after that, I'll be like, okay, nice talk. But yeah, I'm just having, like with everything, I don't know. I think the only thing I've been doing consistently is my face routine. And even last night, I just like got in a funk and didn't even wash my face at night. So I don't know what that's about, but it's something I'm trying to work through. Like, I'm very much a scheduled type of person. And so I really just need to sit down and create me a good old schedule. I don't like having a lot of free time. And right now, I think I have too much free time. And when I know I should be doing something, then I just don't feel like doing it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't think that I'm depressed at all, though. I just think that I'm just going through a period of laziness or unmotivation.
I mean, and I feel like right now it's like there's no parts of separating, you know, or there's no separating certain parts of life right now since we're at home. So it's not like I think that's one of the things I've learned. It's not like we're going to work and then we're like, oh, this is the environment I'm in and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then like you leave and you're like, oh, I have free time. And like, you know, you can kind of like, your brain can switch. I'm going here. Like, I'm like, nah, none of that is happening. And so like, I feel like it's really difficult to be disciplined when this is like what we're working with. Like you're literally doing everything in one or two different places and that's it. Like, so I would say be easy on yourself.
I've been consistent with praying though.
Cheers to that.
Now, would I have said that 3 months ago? No. So that's something, you know, we're working. And also, I just want to say, if my ancestors are listening, I know y'all ain't here. They do not be playing with me. You know, like there's no subtlety in the messages that I get sent.
What do you mean?
Just that. Like I'll ask for something and I'll like go and meditate and just talk, be like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. This is what I would like to do, but I think this is why I shouldn't do this. Like, help me out, y'all. Let me see the light. And then like 10 minutes later, it'll be like, boom, boom, like the sign be like this.
Flashlight on your face. You see the light now, bitch?
But then this is me. Ooh, that light is a little, let me look over here. That light is all up in my face. Let's move out the way.
I think that light is for you. I think that light, that light like, can't be mine.
I'll be like, please, God, send me a sign. And then he'll be like, here's your sign. And I'll be like, oh, what is this in my way? Excuse me.
Wow.
So that's been something funny that I've been like working through. But yeah. So yeah, I've just been having discipline issues. If anybody has any suggestions, bring it to me. But also I like your advice of just not being so hard on myself. A funny story, right before we started recording, my cousin who works for San Bernardino County, and I know we all have cousins that work for the government or whatever, but my cousin called me and told me that they were listening to our last episode and wanted to tell me that they read me the case file of the couple that had the gender reveal about the fire, and they owe $6.9 million as of now. They have damaged 960,000 acres of land, almost 1 million acres.
Wait, like that family owes it? The family owes that, or like the county owes? Oh,
the family. They have created generational debt, is what he said, and that 18 families have been displaced from the fire that they started. And now people be talking about they got a cousin that work in the Pentagon. My cousin, you know, be telling me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I thought that was, I mean, it's not funny, but I thought that would be worth mentioning. And if you were choosing to laugh a little bit right now, you know, where you are, I'm not going to say nothing about it. I think that it would be even more hilarious if that baby decided to change their gender.
I told you, like, last week somebody was listening to the episode and hit me up and was like, ha ha ha, wait till they reveal their gender. I love that. And I was like, I'm telling y'all, wait until this kid actually reveals their gender. Boom.
It's gonna be really funny.
That whole party. But this kid is like not gonna have birthday presents ever. Like, that's it. So the only party that they ever had, they were in the womb still. I would be so hot at my parents.
They're not even gonna be able to like go on a little mini family vacay. It's all downhill from here. The best they better do is they better call Sal from Breaking Bad, try to get some, go to that vacuum store and try to get some new identity, Sal, and go to Alaska. I don't know what else to tell them, but
that is awful. And
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but that's fucking awful. And that's like, can we just be done with gender? Like, I really don't understand why we like create little shit. Like, can we be done with gender reveals? Like,
I did not see the stupidity in them until somebody had to check me, which I always said I'm open to being checked. My best relationships with people is that when they, you know, are able to be honest and check me. Because I threw my sister a gender reveal party. We didn't set nothing on fire. But I did.
You said not everybody set something on fire.
I did succumb to the gender reveal, you know, epidemic that was wiping across the nation. Until somebody told me, you know, they gave me a different perspective, and I was like, see your point, got it. My bad.
It's like
without causing a fire.
It's honestly like the most American thing ever is like these like excessive parties leading up to things. It's like, if you want to have a party and make it about you. You don't need to like if you really just want to have a party, like if you want to have multiple parties before your kid is born, I get it. Like, I love me a good party. I love a get together. Any excuse to get people together and shit like that. Like, I'm with it. Like, I get that, but like, it doesn't have to be that. Like, have a party for, if people wanted to have push parties, I'd be down with that. Like, you know what, you're gonna give birth soon, or you're gonna give birth at some point, let's have a push party for you. I would be down with that over like, it's not the thing of like celebrating somebody giving birth. It's like, why is it a gender? You don't know that. You can't reveal their gender. You can reveal, I don't know.
It's not up to you.
Whatever they were assigned. And that's like, why do you want to do that? Like, why do you want to celebrate a biology book? That's really weird. And you failed that class. Like, for you to do that is just ridiculous. You don't even know.
You know you were copying off notes in that class, and you still want to have a whole party.
You still want to have a whole party? Like, you don't even know what this means.
Yeah, that's. I understand. I get it. I understand. As a person who just likes to have parties, though, was just looking to have a party.
Yes.
At my sister's gender reveal party, do you know I forgot to get water and regular drinks? There was only alcohol and food. That was it. Little kid was like, "Where's the juice?" And I was like, "You better wait for the ice cream truck to roll past." Okay?
It's fine. Like, I get it.
For a son, kid.
I get it. I love a good party. I love throwing a good party. Like, do it. But what is it about? So that's it.
Yeah, but that's it for me. That's all that was on my little menu or whatever.
Yeah.
Real short, sweet, and cute.
So, Girlfriends is back. Girlfriends is streaming.
My girlfriend.
I know that's a show that you really loved. I remember we've had various conversations about Girlfriends.
And I have various friends tell me which girlfriends that I were.
Which one? People have assigned you multiple ones?
No, the same one.
Okay, good.
I've mostly ever only gotten Maya.
Okay.
And sometimes Lynn. I like to think of myself, I used to think of myself as 50-50, but rewatching, I'll probably say 75-25 Maya, Lynn, respectively.
75-25.
75 Maya, 25 Lynn.
Okay.
Percent.
Got you. You don't need to. Okay.
I gotta do that for somebody. But yeah, I've been waiting a long time for Girlfriends to like hit streaming platforms.
Right.
And now that I'm rewatching it, it does seem like a lot of the episodes and the plots are very much centered around dating.
Not
so
necessarily around friendship.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and they definitely blend it in, right? Like there are definitely, certain aspects of relationships where you have to like check your friends and be like, hey, you may be like, when Maya was cheating, like, hey girl, why are you cheating on your husband? Like, that's kind of fucking crazy. What are you doing? Like, little things where friendship comes in, but the big bulk of it is so much centered around men. This show about your girlfriend. And so I've been going back and forth with thinking like, have I reached the point in my life where I'm too deep to even watch a fucking show? Like, and I can't just enjoy things?
Which is true.
Is this like an actual thing?
Don't you think that's a thing? Don't you think that's a thing? Like I've been if I get into like the criticisms of a show and like stuff like that, I can't enjoy it. Like I'm watching shows strictly for nostalgia. And like, if I dig any deeper, I cannot enjoy it.
That's how I am with music. I've heard, I'll be rapping, like sometimes I'll just be rapping and then I'll just stop and I'll be like, oh, what did I just say? Oh no, what did I just say?
Yeah.
That happens a lot when I listen to Blue Buck Clan. They have a lot of homophobic and transphobic lines in their music. And I'll be going up and then I'll repeat it and I'll be like, you know what, Camille? That's not right. You can't say that line anymore.
Me fucking listening to Pop Smoke. I cannot fuck with niggas because niggas is gay.
Because niggas is gay. Like, every time he says that, I be like, but I do fuck with niggas that gay. I do.
I be going hardest on that part. I be like, why does this shit fucking hit? Oh, I really cannot.
I think they have a line that says niggas bitches in their heart calling Bruce Jenner. And I said, oh, that line is kind of hard, but also not okay.
Damn. No, that's real. That's real. That's real.
Happens to me a lot. But anyway,
I feel you. No, I feel your dilemma though. Watching shows, like, yeah, you're right.
Like, I'm like, am I too much of a? Because I get that a lot with like, especially in my family, right? When I go home and like have certain conversations, my nickname in my family is Sister Soldier, and I'm not even nearly the most radical person that I know. Like, not even top 5, not even top 10. I think like, I can really send some niggas y'all way that's gonna like get you together.
Right.
So I'm like, am I having too much of a feminist mind when I think about girlfriends and like French, like a lot of their conversations are centered around relationships. Then I'm thinking about my friendships and like, I guess after a certain point when you reach a certain age, there's societal pressure to be like, in a committed relationship and like have children and shit like that. So I just wonder, what are our friendships based on and centered around in general? Like, when I think about kicking it with my homegirls, like, do we talk about niggas a lot? Yeah, but we also do talk about a lot of other shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've been sitting with that, but I've also been sitting with too. Right? You hear a lot about, and sorry, I'm just like jumping. No. You hear a lot about too. We all here in high school. Like, when you go to college, you're gonna meet the friends that you're gonna keep for the rest of your life, which is halfway too for me, because like, you were someone that I met in college, and whether you like it or not. Sorry, I know I said I believe in consent, but in this case, I don't. You're gonna be in my life for the rest of your life, like, and for the rest of my life. What you gonna do about it?
Where you gonna
go? Nothing that you can do about it.
The hell you gonna do?
But at the same time, I haven't dropped any of my friends, like my core friends from high school. Like, they're all the same, still the same people that I rock with, like, heavily. Right. And our relationships have grown, right? Like, I've been through a lot with them. So yes, I talk to them about niggas a lot because I be fucking with niggas, but I also have talked to them about different business ventures, and I also fucking just planned a retreat with one of my friends, and I also with other of my friends we sent girls to prom 2 years in a row. So like my friendships have grown, but I also would say that we're not at the age yet where we're under so much pressure to be married and have children. So I'm just wondering, I'm wondering how accurate when I watch Girlfriends is that for a group of like 30-year-old friends? Is that all that's going to be on me and my friends' mind when we get old? Like, is it going to be so relationship centric? And do you have that same experience? Because I feel like
I'm not going to lie. Like, all right, like I have friends who like, I can think already of like friends who in my life I know who have become like the type of friends who like, I know that when we have a conversation, they're going to bring up their partner, like off top. It's going to be a part of like the person's not there, but they're going to bring up the partner and shit like that. And I'm personally, that shit is annoying as hell to me. Like that shit is so like, I hope you're listening. So like, please stop. You know what I mean? Like, tune in.
Not the passive aggressive sub pod.
Is it passive aggressive? Because I hope you're listening. All of you. I hope all of you are listening. But I do have friends who like, they will bring up their relationship a lot and like the person. But I also have, I would say like a larger amount of my friendships are not necessarily that way, like where we're consistently talking about relationships. Like I don't even like talking about my own relationship that much. Like
you don't, and you never have.
I don't like. I don't.
Except for that one time.
Hello.
I love a little mess. I'm sorry. Continue.
But like I'm just not the type where I don't know, it's just not enjoyable. Like I'm already in it, so I don't know if I need to talk about it because I'm experiencing it. So like what is that gonna do? And I generally like conversations, or when I'm with my friends, like I actually want to nurture a friendship, and like I don't necessarily know how much talking about the relationship or my relationship is gonna help. And then I mean, I'm not gonna lie, also on top of that, most of my friends are friends with my partner. And so like there's no, like people know if we're good and people would know if we're not good. So like there's really no need to, like to give that. But I'll say this, I think part of Girlfriends in the show is like it had to be consumable. Like how much do you think that people actually want to hear you talk with your friends, like planning for like something positive, like sending girls to prom, or like how much, like I feel like the trials and tribulations of Black women with Black men is like a storyline to be consumed by Black women as well. Like on top of that, like I think it's like something that it's like a trope. It's like a thing that for some reason like people just like to consume that story. And so I think that's part of the show is like what do people actually want to consume out of a show? And like how much of those like meaningful conversations and meaningful like relationship building and stuff like that and friendships and stuff like that do people actually want to hear about? Like people want to hear about tea and people want to hear about drama and what's going on with your relationship and shit like that. And that's about it. Like
they did it, and I'm not gonna not give them credit. Like they did talk about like career goals and
I mean, you also, I mean,
stuff like that.
The show itself, it is about a group of friends. Like, you can't lie, you do see, like, the various friendships and, you know, how they fall out and the things that they fall out about and, like, the things that they agree on and, like, the things that they take sides on and shit. Like, you do see that, but, like,
it was so centered in, like, am I going to get married? Like, I need a husband, you know, I need to have kids before this day. And I'm just like, I don't feel that sense of urgency. Like, when I choose to tell my friends something about me and dating, generally the only things I tell my friends about are like something really good that happened or something really bad that happened. Like, you know, like it's either about to be like a wild ass story.
Right, agreed.
Or like it's not worth saying, like.
Agreed. And I mean, but that's the shit that, like, you know, as a friend, like, that's the shit that I want to hear that. I don't necessarily want to hear about the day-to-day mundane everyday shit that y'all go through. You know what I mean? Like, tell me about the highs, tell me about the lows, okay? And like, let's keep it, because I mean, I'm not. It's not like I don't like to hear about people's relationships. I'm for friends, I want to know how you're doing, and I want to know, you know, how your relationship is going and all this stuff, like, for sure. But I think that you're on the money as far as like the show and how much space like that specific thing takes up in the show.
And like, I think specifically with how it like equates, how it equates how much of your womanhood is defined by you being in a relationship. I think that's what really bothered me to like really pinpoint on it.
Yeah.
You know, like this bitch Joan was 29. What the fucking, and it's LA centric too. So for me, it's like specific, but she had a good house in a cool neighborhood, like
right,
had a great job, you know. Even Tony, she had an apartment, but she had a nice apartment that she can afford, even though she was like struggling and shit. But it's just so much of how like these women were cool despite if they were in a relationship or not, and it made it seem like they were just like never gonna find happiness unless they were reaching that relationship. Which also a part of that is true with women. Like a lot of straight women, I will say, do feel that way, no matter what they have. Like they feel like it's not complete without a relationship. But maybe that's the 2020 bitch in me, and that was 2003. That's having some sort of difference. But I really felt like it did a lot to like define that your womanhood is like dependent upon
finding like your life partner in a man.
And even though they tried to address that to make it seem like it's not this way, but at the end of the day, like it was. That's what it was about.
Because at the, not to, I don't know, hopefully everybody's watched this, but like at the point where like Joan finally reaches that point, it's literally, it seems like her peak. Like every time she gets close to that, it's like literally her peak, and like her happiness is the highest at those points. And then when those things don't work out, it's like leads to her lowest points, where you're talking about like, you have a pretty great career, you have a pretty great house, you're surrounded by awesome friends, you have family who loves you, and all of this other stuff that you could choose to also give light to and center as well. But that's not necessarily how it's seen, or that's not necessarily what's portrayed. Like, unless that's happening, unless this one thing is put together, then I can't be happy, or I can't be worthy, or I can't be this. Or not complete, actually, is what it is. It's like she was always incomplete. And then it's also interesting to kind of contrast that character with who Tracee Ellis Ross is actually in real life. Right? Because
like, fuck these niggas, like I'm good, don't need no kids,
and she's like fine, and I'm like, yes. And she's like, I'm gonna post these thirst traps. Exactly. And like, she taught her family. I love her. I mean, hey, if Diana Ross was my mama, listen, life would be good too. But yeah, but like, you all right?
Had a little drippy drip, but it's okay.
Drip. Yes.
I just like to think that my friendships are more than they. When we have our it made me be more like tuned into what I'm actually talking about with my friends. Which I concluded that we definitely talk a lot more about like the niggas that we dealing with. Like, that's not the basis of all of our conversations. But it did just make me like reflect on, what does this is a show that Black women have been asking for to come back, right? Like we've been wanting to see it. But I just wonder how many more people, as they're watching, are thinking about this, they're thinking about, how this was like portrayed and what the focus of the show was. But like I said, I hope I'm not being like way too woke or deep for my own.
But it was like
something that came up for me.
Yeah, it's also like with Being Mary Jane, it was a similar sort of like.
Ooh.
Obviously, like the drama in that was, a little, but like it was literally the same thing. Like, I need to find a man, but like you have this successful career, you have like,
That's why I like Insecure. I thought I liked Being Mary Jane until Insecure came along. I feel like Insecure doesn't. Damn, am I being biased? Insecure does focus a lot on relationships. It's not a bad thing to focus on relationships or dating, because that is a part
It's happening.
Of life.
It's
it's just
happening.
reality. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to my friends about, dating because that's what I'm doing. I be dating. So it's not a bad thing to talk about, but when it feels like it's the central, I don't feel like the central focus of Insecure is Lawrence and Issa, even though it's a big part of it. I feel like it's more so it's friendships and Issa trying to find herself and what she wants to, do and
I also think it's not just Issa, it's also all the characters. It's about a journey for each of them individually on top of the relationship. You get to see Lawrence grow, you get to see Issa grow, you get to see Molly, and I don't know if she grew, but something. You get to see Molly do stuff and things and just move.
Because it's not going good for her at work.
Yeah, and see, with Molly, it's not the relationship isn't the thing that's going to take her up and down. It's her work that's going to take her up and down and shit like that. You know what I mean? And so you do kind of get to see characters develop past relationships, I guess is what you're kind of getting at. Is characters actually develop past relationships. And even though the relationships are there and stuff is happening, it's not, like you said, the center, the focus. And you even get to see the friendships themselves, the things that they sort of go through as friends really have almost nothing to do with relationships. Whether it's work or planning this block party, or whatever. I ran out of ideas, but you know what I mean.
And I want to mention that I'm only halfway through my rewatch of Girlfriend. So I'm at the point right now where Maya is about to start her book and Joan is about to quit. So that those things specifically have nothing to do with them being in relationships, right? And it's just a different character arc. So I will give it credit for that. But in the first half, it definitely was just a lot of woe is me, when am I gonna have a man, when am I gonna find the one type of thing, and that was just over it. And that is why in the first half, at least, I feel like I was more of a Lynn, where it was just girl, I'm just fucking these niggas, it is what it is.
I feel you.
That was younger me though. Now me is I'm celibate Lynn. That's not true, but anyway. It made me reflect on my friendships and just kind of I wanted to check just within myself. I didn't have this conversation with my friends even, but I just wanted to check in. It just made me reflect on my friendships, and we talk more about niggas, right? And it's important to note too, though. I definitely have, and I think it's important to have different friends that you go to about different things. I definitely have homegirls that I will call to just specifically vent about a nigga or whatever, and that's, we catch up and we talk about that or whatever. Whereas I have maybe more well-rounded friendships, or even something as simple as, if I'm having this problem and I know specifically this friend is gonna tell me how it is, whether I really want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
And this friend is probably gonna hold my hand through it more, but still tell me how it is. Yeah. And this friend is gonna be on my side, so you kind of know which friends to reach out to for what you want.
Right.
So I think that that's important to note too. But as far as my core, my girlfriends, I was really just sitting there reflecting, to make sure that our friendship has some depth to it, I guess, and not just revolved around relationships. Because what is a nigga or a partner or a girlfriend? What is it?
Not shit.
No offense. I'm not saying that in
just playing.
Yeah, me too.
You're everything to me.
Everything to
you mean it all.
Niggas not trying to get in trouble.
Thanks.
Once this go up tomorrow, I'm just saying. But yeah, that was just my.
That's good though. Reflecting on friendships and and I mean, things evolve, and I feel I'm actually still friends with a few people from high school. Not a lot though, because the place that I went to high school in, I mean, the people, yeah, they're around, and not necessarily a place that people grow. So like the few friends that I have are like people who, and it, were like always my core group of friends there, and like we'll definitely catch up. And like it's funny, I feel like people who don't know my partner, I'm more so able to talk about my relationship more so than like people who do know. Like if you know my partner, I'd be like, yeah, all right, cool. You can, yeah, just
And that makes sense. But I'm also not somebody who likes to let I don't think I think the only dudes that my friend met that I talked to was because they already knew them. Besides, that's not true. Besides one person. But other than that, I'm not even about to introduce you to the homegirls. Like, to be honest, like if you pick me up and they there, then that's one thing. Or if like you call me, we on the phone and they in the background. But
yeah, but the planning aspect,
I'm very much so keep, separation of church and state until like we really in there. Like it's really no need for you to meet them.
I feel you. No, like the people.
I'm pulling
like
to a Christmas party alone.
Like people who like, oh, we've been together for 2 months. You have to meet my friend. They'll arrange the whole dinner and sit them down and let you grill them and be like, when are your none of that? Yeah.
Not interested in it. But I think all of my friends are that way.
But I was just gonna say that I think it's a function of the people who you end up being friends with and like the kind of people who you're drawn to. Like I think it would be more so a function of like the people who you choose to be friends with are not necessarily willing to center that. Because I know that there's probably groups of friends who do actually center the relationship. So I feel like it's more so a reflection of who you've chosen to be, friends with, and like the conversations and like the depths of which they're willing to. Because I love my deep friendships. Like I love like my friends. Same. Like I love it. Like that's my shit. Like I'm all about like nurturing relationships and nurturing friendships and stuff like that. With like people who I've grown close with and stuff like that. So if I'm like in a stagnant friendship or like I feel like like it's not on the same page, like it's just I feel like it's just not possible. At least for me, that's just me personally. Like I can't be in like these super vapid and like shallow. Not to say that people who like only talk about friendships are shallow. That's not at all what I'm saying. But like
but I guess maybe, at a certain point we have to recognize
maybe one-dimensional or like like one-dimensional. Like I like when we can talk about like 10 million different subjects and still vibe. Like I love like when we can pick up on different subjects and just keep talking. Like I think that's important to me. And like I like what you like. If your friendships are not growing, I absolutely think that you're not growing. Like especially if you've been friends for a long time and like your friendships look the same, I think that is like, I think it is telling, like for sure.
Agreed. I agree with that 100%. And I've even had some friendships where I like that have kind of naturally dwindled off, and I'm like real okay with that. Like that's cool with me,
Right.
I'll love you from afar, and it is what it is. At a point we were really close, and that's not true anymore. There's no beef, but our friendship has just become something else, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
But with my, like you said, with my main group of friends, I'm happy to be able to have like in-depth and multiple layered conversations with them, right? Like even when we talk, like there's gonna be a portion where we talk about like
we go from we be like
we go all over the place, and I love that. Like, I will literally like if we're about to talk, we gotta talk about a whole bunch of shit. So I don't mind telling you about
the whole runaround. Because
let me tell you what happened with me and this nigga. Because we're also
that's not gonna be
talk about if that's all that we're talking about, that's alarming. But if we spending some time on this, but we're also spending time on like because we be having.
Oh, I know. I do know. No, but I agree. Like, I feel like I think like friendships are a good signal of like what you're doing, how you're doing. Not the only one. Sometimes some people be friends with assholes, and you know, so y'all just got to get those assholes to go. Like, I'm not saying all the time, but like sometimes, like if you can really identify like valuable friendships, and you can see like, oh shit, we haven't grown at all. Like, I feel like it's a signal for something. So,
and one thing I learned, last thing that I'll say,
mm-hmm.
one thing that I learned from the Proud family, and I know that's funny, but I've learned that if you are choosing to be friends with someone but don't like something about them, you do have to learn to accept people for who they are and the type of relationship that you have. And that was the episode with Dejanay and Penny in the concert. If y'all know, y'all know. But Penny said that, like, girl, I'm just accepting you for who you are. So like there are definitely some friends that I have where I'm like, I know that when, you know, we pick up the phone and talk, we are not about to sit up here and have a deep conversation about dating bisexual men, right? It's not going to be the extent of our relationship.
Right.
I'm okay with knowing that our relationship is just this surface level and that's the extent of our relationship. I won't call you for the things that I need actual advice about.
Right.
Or like if I need to, like, you know, I have friends that literally pick up the phone and be like, hey, I was having this conversation and I thought that I was being problematic, so I want to talk this out with you. You know, like, I know that that's not the type of relationship that I have with you. I don't love you any less, but I just know I can't have that conversation with you. And I also can't, you know, you're not going to be the friend that I invite to come with me to DC when I go see Sponge. Maybe we'll go to Vegas together, we aren't going to, you know, we're not about to go switch time zones together. And I'm not going to tell you about, you know, this project that I'm working on at work.
Right.
That's not not our friendship level.
Like, and the thing is, it's a thing of like acceptance, not like animosity or like anything negative. It's like the thing of understanding, like, this is what we have, and it's like you're also choosing to maintain that friendship, and you're not like, oh, this is the kind of friend you are, like, nah, I'm done with you, like, we can't do anything. No, it's like realizing like this is like the parameters in which we can be friends, and this is where we can't necessarily exist. And some people you're gonna exist on all fucking, you know, like you can do it all. You'll switch time zones, you'll switch continents, you'll, you know, whatever. There's some people you can't do it with, and so I think like
there's some friends I know I shouldn't meet their family. That's fine. Like,
that's a fact.
Like, that's fine. I know I probably if you bring about around your conservative ass family. My family is gonna welcome everybody, but I know that may not be like the extent of our friendship. So it's just,
shout out to the Duncans.
Don't think about my family. They're gonna say you can pull up. It's just true. But yeah, that was. What'd you just do? Woo! All right, y'all. Well, moving forward, it is time.
To the check, please.
Cha-ching. I wish I had something to make it rain, but all I have is 5011 masks. I'm gonna show you. I have this mail thing that I MAIL that I hung or whatever for like my keys and mail. But look what is occupied it. Look at all of
wow, you are deep in masks. What the hell? Miss Rona ain't got nothing on you. She not finna catch you.
Who want protection? Okay, it's just a whole bunch of masks. Yeah, I just want to let you know what I'm working with.
That's beautiful.
So it is time for the check for our new listeners. This is the portion of the show where each host picks someone who needs to be checked because niggas be fucking up. So Sanj, who are you checking this week?
This week I am checking the entire state of Kentucky.
Fuck them.
Maybe it shouldn't even be a state at this point. I don't know. I don't know. But the ruling came out today about Breonna Taylor. None of the officers who were involved got charged with murder.
Not a one.
Not a single person. Like,
she just died.
Wanton endangerment. Like that's so.
I never heard of that before.
Me neither.
I didn't know that was even a thing.
And I was like, "What is this? Like an order at a Chinese restaurant? Like, I didn't know they had wontons. Like,
telling me that the officers are getting in trouble for possibly endangering other people instead of the person that they killed that they wasn't supposed to kill because they wasn't supposed to be in the house
It's
anyway.
just it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Y'all just make up something. I thought
I've literally never heard of that. Literally never heard of that. So like, you know, I think unfortunately, like with the news that was coming out about like the National Guard and stuff like that and how they're gearing up, like I feel like we had
they had boarded shit up like 2 days before, right?
So there was like a foreshadowing to me. So I feel like you can never be prepared for something like this, but like mentally I was in a space where again, you're accepting this country for what it is. You know, we accept our friends for what they are, but also accepting this country for what it is and knowing accepting
like the system for who it really protects.
Because this is what it's meant to do. Like people are, you know, seeking justice, wanting justice, but that's not really what this system is meant to do. So like, as long as this is the system that we're running under, shit like this will always fly. Shit like this will continue to happen. Black people will get fucking murdered by their states, and then those same states will make it so that the people who perpetrate that violence never get punished. And so like as long as this is where we are, as long as this is our justice system, as long as this is like the reality that we're living under, it's so unfortunate and so sad, but shit like this doesn't surprise me. And like really the most unfortunate thing was what Breonna Taylor ended up turning into, and like got commodified, and like, you know, the shit with like Brianna Khan, and like
they made a whole law about her and didn't give her justice.
All of that,
on
and
TikTok, and
for the state to pay up $12 million, and then a few weeks later, this is the ruling that you get. Like, you can see when you're trying to be pacified. You know what I'm saying? So like for me personally, like, it was something that I just needed to know, like, what is the outcome of this? But it's also the reality of like, if this is the system that we're living under, it is completely inhumane. It will always be inhumane, and this is what's gonna happen. And so like, I guess that's my check. I'm really lost for words, but not really, because again, we know what it is. Like, we know what it is. We know that as long as this is the reality that we're under, and this is like the system that we're under, this is expected. This could happen. So you know, I'm checking the grand jury, but it's so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that, and it's so much deeper than that too. So I just wanted to make sure that we at least, you know, touched on that subject and realize that people are seeking justice in a system that's not designed that way. That's not what it's meant to do. And so my prayers and thoughts go out to Breonna Taylor and her family. Like, nobody deserves. I mean, that's just like.
It's just crazy because the fact
it's just inconceivable, really.
The fact that they won, you know, the was it the civil case where they got the money?
Yeah.
Like, and just the backlash that it received in general lets me know, and lets everyone else know, that you know that what happened was wrong.
Right.
But you just literally refuse to hold the people accountable for it, because the system is designed to protect them and not us. Right. Like, so it's just there's no clearer example of how this system was set up and who it was designed to actually help and benefit. There's no clearer example than what is happening right now. Like, y'all couldn't even have arrested these niggas. Y'all literally would have rather prepared for the city to burn down and pre-called in the National Guard and said, I'm gonna give y'all this money, because y'all knew that y'all weren't gonna hold these people accountable, even though y'all knew it was wrong. Y'all rather go through all of that than just saying, hey, we fucked up, they fucked up, they're gonna get in trouble for it. Like, so
because it's like the same. I was also reading, and the same 6 officers are still under internal investigation. So it's crazy to me that you could still, all 6 of y'all could still be under internal investigation, and there's still an investigation going on, but the grand jury could come out with a ruling like this, right? So like, there's all of these ways in which we as citizens are sent mixed messages about, you know, so everybody knows that this is wrong. Everybody knows that justice for Breonna Taylor. But most people would say that was wrong. That shouldn't have happened. And then to get this is like, oh no, that was something that was actually okay to happen under the state. So it's almost like a whole country being gaslit over, you know, we know that this is happening. Y'all gonna try to tell us this isn't what happened. And so like, for me, it's more so about keeping that alive internally, and like just knowing that was wrong, and that she should still be here, and that she should still, and for her to get commodified as much as she did was just completely wrong. And like the only possible justice was for her to be alive, to be honest. Like there's nothing to me that would have healed this wound, even if, you know, these guys would have got convicted. Like it's still the fact that there is a final solution, and one that, you know, they can't necessarily take back, and somebody's life was lost. Like, so to me, what's justice at that point? Somebody lost their whole life, you know what I mean? And so yeah, that's how I'm feeling. And so how about you? Who are you checking?
So I have two kind of quick checks.
Cool.
Less serious. But also maybe not for the first one.
I don't think the first one is.
Every social media platform that I signed on to, every time I check my email, every spam call that I received, every random text message that had like a 68347 number, and that was just the whole number, was beating my ass, telling me to vote. And not vote, but make sure that you're registered to vote. I guess yesterday was like National Make Sure You're Registered to Vote Day, whatever. It was a whole lot. And if you're gonna do these algorithms to make sure that people vote, at least design it to ensure that you know that this person already voted. And
that's my whole thing.
And have I'm already registered. I've already done it. Please I came to Twitter for the jokes, not to be bombarded. You know, I came to Instagram for the looks, not to be bombarded. Also, within line what we're talking about with Breonna Taylor, right? Like, oh, you know, damn, it's fucked up. She didn't get justice. And people like, make sure y'all vote. Like, people will really be with you while the police are pulling you over with a gun to your head and be screaming, well, make sure you vote. Like,
and also, like, how many Black people were killed while Democrats were presidents? It doesn't matter who is in office. Like, that's the fucking
does nothing for me right
that's
now.
That's the issue. Like, honestly, I'm sick of it. I'm not even, my thing isn't like tiresome of even these social media things. People's voter rhetoric in general is getting old. Y'all,
make sure you vote, but we're not going to talk about voter suppression.
It's getting old.
Make sure you vote, but we're not going to talk about the Electoral College.
Y'all want to talk about fucking harm reduction and shit like that when you're taught like, oh, he only had sex with 8 underage girls. He,
make sure you
on the other hand, had 40. Pedophile. So have the lesser pedophile.
Wouldn't you rather have sex with someone who only fucked 8 minors and not 26? Like, what are y'all talking about? First of all, I'm gonna vote because I understand that Trump is the fucking worst and anybody would be better than him, right? But stop coming to me like all niggas had to do was vote in the first place and things will be okay, because that is just not the truth. It's not reality.
Like, so because most of y'all would have just been comfortable.
Stop shoving voting down my throat like that's literally like we've been doing all of this and the last thing we have to do is vote that we're good. Y'all told me this when y'all did the whole Vote or Die campaign with Diddy and them. Like, y'all been shoving this down my throat and we've been still getting killed. And we've been stop not getting housing. And we've been been suffering through environmental injustice. And we've been suffering through sexism. Like, so y'all keep shoving voting down my throat and it's been not helping. Niggas is gonna vote right now because we have to, because we can't do any more of Trump. But stop acting like this is just like the end all be all, my nigga.
Right.
Stop shoving it down my throat. I'm tired of it.
What are we gonna do when we elect the next president, whether it's this term or the next term, and Black people are still dying? Like, because to me, the people who are shoving a lot of this voting rhetoric down my throat is a lot of white women, a lot of white liberals and shit. Like, go talk to
you mean sisters. The white women? You mean the white women that voted for Trump?
That's what I'm talking about. So go talk to your white sisters. Go talk to your mama.
You literally don't have to tell our little. How many percent are we in the U.S.? Are we like 13?
Black.
Something like that?
That's like, the one thing.
You
That's the
telling
one thing you ain't never got to worry about. That's the one thing you ain't never got to worry about. Niggas know what we got to do. Niggas been marching for forever. Niggas been marching for forever, just like niggas been dying for forever. Like, y'all are...
tell the McCormicks and the Fitzgeralds at y'all family
Thank
reunion
you. It's such a
y'all are the
fake ass
majority.
It's such a like if I read another long or any kind of paragraph about somebody talking about why nobody died for me to vote. They died for me to have the choice to vote. Okay. Then it wasn't like they was like, we're gonna fight so that you have to vote, so that you're forced to partake in this system. No, so that you can actually have the option, the opportunity to partake in that system if that's what you want to do. Like, and y'all leave out a lot of stuff, like when we doing all this voter rhetoric. Like, what about immigrants who, cannot vote? Like, does that mean that they're not taking place? They're not important in any?
What about the felons that's fighting in fires over there?
Are they not
going to get out and not be able to vote?
And y'all want to talk about let's vote for them? Let's vote for them. Nah, like shut up. Like I'm really. Anyways, what's your next check? Because that's one. I feel like I could do a whole episode on just that because.
And we can, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Okay.
I'm tired with bleach. I'm tired with bleach.
I like that. I've heard that before. Is that a Farmersville saying?
I'm gonna send you this video.
I like that. But my second check, really quick. Twitter suspended me, and I don't know why. But
what you do?
I didn't do. I literally did not do anything. I had a hard time with like getting up out of bed today. Like I said, how my ancestors be like hitting me in the face with signs, and then so all of a sudden my Twitter account was suspended. It was like, bitch, bet you ain't got nothing to do now.
Get your ass up.
Bet you'll get up now. But yeah, Twitter suspended me. Don't know why. They hit me up like, if you think that you shouldn't be suspended, tell us why. And I said, no, you tell me why I was suspended.
Well, I gotta write an essay to you.
What are you talking about?
Everything.
So that just really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why I was suspended.
I'm gonna look on your Twitter.
There's nothing there. Catch me on Brunches on Twitter. Fucking up.
No, I want to know. I want to see the tweet that got you out. Who reported you? Hey, if you reported Cam, if you reported it.
I want to know. The only thing that I saw a tweet today, but I didn't even say anything crazy to it. But I saw a tweet today that said something about like, hold on, I'm about to find it because I want to read it because it's a lot. And I don't mean to offend nobody, right? But this tweet was a lot. I'm still suspended, by the way. But it lets me, I can read everything like, I can see everything that's happening on my timeline. I can't retweet, I can't like, I can't do it. The only thing that I tweeted today that wasn't a retweet, and I retweeted with a comment and just put I don't know what to say.
Okay.
Somebody tweeted, and I don't mean to offend anybody, and I really was about to go in on this, but I figured it's best not to because I really don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just gonna read this and let everyone do it their way. If you're a Christian, you should not be partaking in any of this. Yoga, tarot cards, energy healing, Reiki, Eastern meditation, angel cards / numbers, astral projection, chakras, channeling, divination, law of attraction, sacred geometry, zodiac signs, etc.
Okay.
And so I just tweeted, like, I basically just tweeted, that's it. Like, I just put,
they were like, you're out of here.
That was the only thing I could think of that maybe that person like got offended. But to ever tell someone that they should not do yoga or get their
meditate
because God is going to be mad at you for making sure that you have inner peace.
Praying is meditation.
What do they think praying is, bro?
That's so stupid. Law of attraction, that's like literally asking for what you want, like like a prayer.
That's going to
you fucking idiot.
I don't understand.
Like I know, like Catholics, like they go and like you go light a candle and shit, like for whatever.
On the what?
Altar? Huh? On the altar? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So witches have, but they got one. When they do what? Drink the blood of Christ and do what? Eat the body of Christ.
Eat the body.
And they do what? Catch the Holy Ghost.
And they be doing, we be doing the smoky.
Getting your energy in line is when they cross the fucking line. Oh, bitch, you think you about to do downward dog? Let me fucking tell you something. You going to hell.
That's how Eve got this whole thing started.
From downward dog. What are you talking about? She was doing yoga in the Garden of Eden, and Adam came and just lost his whole
Hot
mind.
yoga.
Started eating
Hot
all the fruit. Yeah,
all the fruit, all the apples.
Yeah, but anyway,
that's hilarious.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Why would y'all do that to me, Twitter?
Let Cam back in. Let Cam back in. Let Cam back in. We need it. We need it. All right. Well, so we moving on to the last part. So this is the tip. And so wow. And so this section, this part of I'm distracted people, sorry. Wow, hey, I need them after 8 drinks, all right? Because it's about 8:37 here.
I told y'all.
You look like you feel so.
I meant to ask you till it's 5:38, so the game started 8 minutes ago. So that means it's 8:38. The game just started your time. That's ridiculous. I would not be a good girlfriend if I lived on the East Coast. We never talking about or watching sports, my nigga. I'm going to sleep. The game just started at 8:30. No thanks.
That's awful.
And it's only one game a day, so why couldn't they start it at least 6 your time? It doesn't make any sense.
Also, can you just imagine this? I was working out this morning. I was thinking about this. I was like, imagine NBA Finals, Jamal Murray and Jimmy Butler. Ain't nobody watching that shit.
Imagine staying up till 11 to watch that.
Nobody would. That's the thing. So like let's fix it. Anyways, the tip section is it's really the opposite of the chag. This is sort of a time for us to recognize something positive that that has happened. We love to end the show this way. It leaves us on a high note. So Camille, who are you tipping?
My tip, not a full tip, but it's mostly a tip.
Ooh, just a little.
Just the tip. It's just the tip. I'm tipping this brand called Push Up Tape. It's on Instagram and it's literally just called Push Up Tape. But they have the tape where you could like tape up your titties to like match whatever type of outfit you have. So if you have your back out, your shoulders, you have a little halter or whatever. And usually with things like that, a big titty girl like myself doesn't find that those things are useful. But that shit really work. Like niggas really was strapping my titties up and they were sitting and like not moving. I don't have them on right now, so I don't know why I'm bouncing around. But
I was gonna say that
they were really sitting, and I really appreciate that. I like that. Now, the one thing I will say is that removing the tape. I was drunk the first time that I tried it, and so I have my little mixing bowl. My drunk ass. I filled the bowl with warm water and I just like put my titty in it. I peeled it off while my titty was submerged in a bowl of water. But they give you like these nipple covers too, so you can like.
Okay, good. I was like, that seems like that would be the most painful part.
No. It comes included with nipple covers, so you can like do it. But it comes like you can do it, and it shows you on their Instagram and on their site like the different ways that you can do it depending on the cut of the shirt or the dress that you're wearing. But I just really, these titties got a lot of mass, gravity, and it worked for me. And I always feel the need to share when things work for me, for my big titty women. So, and for my big titty men, a lot of y'all kings do have, titties. So I just wanted to share that.
Before you said that, I was like, oh, Lord, make me tape. I don't want to be taped no more. So I'm done with that.
Because I got tired. Let me tell you, there's some big men in my life with titties.
Yeah.
And I won't say no names or no affiliations, but be like, oh, why don't you wear a bra? And I be wanting to say, why don't you wear one? Your titties be free. Why can't mine? So I might give that, for a couple of Christmas gifts. So if you receive this as a Christmas gift, then that means you was a big titty man talking shit. And I'm telling you to strap it up. But that's
stocking
it. That's it. Who are you tipping this week, Signs?
I'm actually tipping Lyft. I know, I can't believe it. I'm tipping Lyft, the rideshare service, because I don't know if this is a new feature or if I just haven't taken Lyft in a long time because I don't have anywhere to go. But when the last time I used Lyft, I had a driver who was hard of hearing, and Lyft gave me like a sign language tutorial before I took the ride. Yes,
that's
like
cool.
Yes,
they tell you, but I can't remember them giving me like a.
Yes, and they had like videos, like they had like GIFs or GIFs. I don't know, people.
I think it's GIFs.
GIFs, of like how to do the different signs and shit. So I got to like practice and stuff before I, took my ride. But I really appreciated that. Like, I was like, this is so fucking helpful for y'all to, give me a little bit. I mean, as soon as I got in the car, she was like, hey, what's up? I was like,
they told me that you,
I fucking practice this shit all fucking I been practicing, motherfucker.
So now, let me ask you a question. Now when we go out and I get to doing my sign language, so that niggas won't talk to me, you mean to tell me that you can respond?
No, I forgot that shit.
Wow.
All right, no, I remember the two, but I'm not, listen. It really threw me off. I got in the car and she started chit-chatting and I was like, fuck. Should I say something back? And then she was like asking me, is it right here? And I was like, damn, they didn't teach me that one.
That would have been me.
And then she's also, at the same time, the person's technically driving. And so, their back is turned. So I was just like.
Right, so I don't want you, like, looking through the back mirror to see me back there being like this. And then also, I was about to say, I'm in LA, but you're in DC. Like, if I'm back there like this, that could get me in a position of danger.
Who knows? Who knows
what I just threw up right now?
I did really appreciate Lyft, like, being like, oh, your driver's, hard of hearing, like, this is how you say this, how you say this. And they had the little videos and stuff. I was like, this is so fucking helpful, bro. Like, this is really cool. So damn helpful. I love this. So I appreciated that. And I'm tipping Lyft for that feature. That's very inclusive. So yeah, that's my tip. And that's our show.
That's our show.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this week's episode.
Also, it's my birthday next week. So y'all wish
on Tuesday, yeah? Am I right?
Yeah, so Tuesday.
Good. Look, I wrote it on my. I'm not gonna. I wrote it on my calendar.
Yeah, you gonna put your whole calendar out? You got DAs on there and shit with names and addresses. People gonna be screenshotting. People gonna be screenshotting.
No, I don't. I do not have any DAs on my calendar.
People gonna be screenshotting your calendar.
I am a wholesome woman with a wholesome vag and a wholesome puss. Okay? Why would you say that? First of all, my DAs be spontaneous, okay? I don't pencil them in. They get in where they fit in.
Oh, I thought you liked routines, but all right, whatever.
No.
No wonder you ain't got no discipline. You got to pencil them in.
It's spontaneous, okay? So they would not be listed on my calendar. All right? Unless.
All right.
Never mind. All right, y'all.
Yeah. That's the show. So we will see y'all next week. We forgot to say bye last time.
We did. I just have to cut it off anywhere, but bye.
Oh, that's cool. Bye, y'all.